by far the best investment you can make is in yourself. I mean, for example, communication skills. I tell the students that come that they're going to graduate schools and business, and they're learning all these complicated formulas and all that. If they just learn to communicate better, and both in writing and in person, they increase their value at least 50%. If you can't communicate, somebody says, it's like winking at a girl in the dark. Nothing happens, basically. And you have to be able to get forth your ideas, and that's relatively easy.
Desire of people to gamble, and they gamble in stocks, incidentally, too. Day trading, I would say, very often came very close to gambling as defined. But people like to gamble. I mean, it's if the Super Bowl is on, or even, better yet, if a terribly boring football game is on, but you don't have anything to do, and you're sitting there with somebody else, you're probably going to enjoy the game more if you bet a few bucks on it one way or the other. The human propensity to gamble is huge. Now, when it was legalized only pretty much in Nevada, you had to go to some distance or break some laws to do any serious gambling. But as the states learned to, what a great source of revenue it was, they gradually made it easier and easier and easier for people to gamble. And believe me, the easier it's made, the more people will gamble.
I've really said that growth and value, they're indistinguishable. They're part of the same equation, or really growth is part of the value equation. So our position is that there is no such thing as growth stocks or value stocks, the way Wall Street generally portrays them as being contrasting asset classes. Growth usually is a positive for value, but only when it means that by adding capital now, you add more cash availability later on at a rate that's considerably higher than the current rate of interest. So we calculate into any business we buy what we expect to have happen in terms of the cash that's going to come out of it or the cash that's going to go into it. So if you tell me that you own a business that's going to grow to the sky, and isn't that wonderful, I don't know whether it's wonderful or not until I know what the economics are of that growth, how much you have to put in today and how much you will reap from putting that in today later on. And the classic case, again, is the airline business. The airline business has been a growth business ever since, that Orville took off. But the growth has been the worst thing that happened to it. It's been great for the American public, but growth has been a curse in the airline business because more and more capital has been put into the business at inadequate returns. Now, growth is wonderful at See's Candy because it requires relatively little incremental investment to sell more pounds of candy.